So I got the question, so what happens if he just does reasonable force fields and has a ton of colossus? So this is the answer to that question. This is what happens. Um, you can see that at 14 minutes I had 200 unit space of Marines, but because he's Protoss and built reasonable units instead of all Marines, he was able to actually spend 8,000 bucks by that same point. But the goal isn't to have a really strong 200 unit space army. The goal is to have a ginormous income. In fact, you don't even have to win the game. The goal is not to win games. The goal is to prove to yourself how much more money you could have if you focus entirely on making sure you build enough SCVs. So, at the end of a game that you lose, take a look at how much money you had compared to your opponent. If you had 4 times as much money as your opponent, it doesn't matter that you lost, because when you stop making only Marines, maybe you'll win. So even though, as I'm showing here, it is possible to beat stuff just by having a much larger income than them, the point isn't to get really good at making Marines. The point is to say, hey, if you can win with a horrible unit combination, imagine how well you'll do once you take these macro skills you've built up at getting a ginormous income and put them towards something more reasonable, like Marine Marauder, or Marine Marauder Medevac, or Marine Marauder Medevac Viking. Anyway, so as you can see, he killed $40,000 of my units, and I killed $18,000 of his units, but I still win.